I was a good daughter-in-law. I smiled. I endured. I tried to please. But my mother-in-law saw me as an enemy, and my husband was silent. My name is Marina. I am 30 years old, and I lived for 3 years with a man who was kind and gentle but could not protect me. Because he was the son of a woman he feared more than he loved me. I did not understand it right away. At first, everything was almost a fairy tale. He cared. He said that I was special, that he had never met anyone like me. I was coming out of a difficult relationship, and it seemed to me that he was the one. Be calm, balanced. Does not yell, does not pressure. He gave me freedom, gave me silence. I fell in love, not even with him, but with the state next to him, as if I could breathe for the first time. We quickly began to live together. He proposed to marry in 6 months. I said yes, because it seemed to me that it was fate, that after all my past, I was finally lucky. I met his family 2 weeks after the engagement, and even then I felt something inside me shrink. His mother greeted me politely, with a smile, but I felt that this smile was forced. She immediately started asking a lot of questions. Where do you work? Where are you from? And your parents? And your education? And when are your grandchildren? I laughed. I answered, but inside I felt like I was being tested, as if I was going through a casting. I thought it was just excitement. But then it became the norm. She started coming unannounced, inspecting the apartment, giving advice. I tried to be polite, saying thank you nicely, listening, memorizing, baking pies according to her recipes, buying her gifts, running around the shops on holidays to please her, wanted to be a part of it, wanted to be accepted. I thought if I tried she would love me, but there was always something wrong with her. She said that I was strange, too closed, not housekeeping enough, that he used to be more lively but became quieter with me. She said this right in front of him, and he was silent. He later said that she didn't mean to be mean, she just doesn't know how to do it any other way. She cares. That's how it is with us. I tried to understand, I accepted it, but every time after her visits I felt like I needed to rub off my skin. I couldn't breathe. I was becoming that girl from childhood again, who wanted to be comfortable so she wouldn't be abandoned. She called every day. She could say, "Did you cook today, or did you feed him processed food again?" She could ask why you look tired, do you have hormonal problems? She said that it wouldn't hurt me to lose weight. I tolerated all of this because he was there, because I loved him, because it seemed to me that if I just tolerated it, everything would work out. Then she started getting involved in finances, advised where to spend, how to distribute. She told him that I was too wasteful, that he should keep money under control. I watched as she slowly took away my right to personal matters, to make decisions, to have space. And he just said, "You know, Mom is worried." And I wanted to scream. I tried to talk to him, tried to explain. He listened. But it didn't change anything. I was alone again. Only now, not in a child's room, but in an adult apartment with a ring on my finger and a stranger in my life. Her voice was everywhere. In the closet, in the fridge, in bed. She even once told me to my face that I can't handle it. And he didn't object. Then I understood. I'm fighting for a place in a family that doesn't want me, and even he doesn't choose me. I'm not angry, not aggressive, not rude. I'm just tired of trying. One day I woke up and felt like I wasn't there, like I was an empty shell, who cooks, cleans, smiles, but without sound, without color, without a voice. I looked at myself in the mirror and saw a woman I don't remember, who was erased. I packed my bag, quietly, without hysterics, without notes. I went nowhere. I rented a small room in another area, turned off the phone, and for the first time in my life I felt peace. He wasn't looking for me. Neither was he, nor was she. A week later, a message came. "You've gone crazy. Mom is worried. Come back." And I understood. I no longer want to live where my existence is considered a mistake, where my value is assessed by someone else's voice. 2.5 years have passed. I live alone. I don't have a partner, but I have me. I draw. I work in a cafe. I communicate with people who don't hurt under the guise of caring. Sometimes I get scared, lonely. But this is the silence in which I don't betray myself. Let's move on to the second story. My name is Alina, I'm 32, and in my family they always said that blood is the most important thing. That you can't choose your relatives, that forgiving is a duty. I tried to believe it for a long time. But now I know for sure. Not all family is family. Not everything that is close from birth should always be close. I have a sister, older by 2 years. We lived in the same room, in the same apartment, behind the same door. She was always the favorite. Not because she tried, but simply because she was allowed to. She was praised, she was supported. They bought her the best. They told me, be patient, you are younger. Give in more calmly. Give, you will not become poor. And I gave. Calmly, without tears. Although everything was burning inside, because this is not about caring. This is about how one child in the family is a person and the other is a background. Since childhood, she could do something nasty and get away with it. She broke my mother's phone and said that I dropped it. I am punished. She left the door open and the cat disappeared. It's my fault. She once spilled tea on my school album. She said it by accident. And then she laughed in front of my friends that I was crying like a fool. I believed her, because I thought, this is a sister, this is just strange love. But love, although no, this is not love, this is power. Then there were the teenage years. She was allowed to walk until the night, but I was not. They bought her fashionable things, and I got the rest. She could leave the house for a day and then scream that she was being controlled, and I could just be late for 5 minutes and be guilty of a family scandal. I learned to disappear, not to argue, not to make noise, to be convenient. I thought if I did not interfere, maybe they would love me. I was wrong. When we became adults, all this did not go away. She began to work in a large company. I entered the teacher training college. She laughed. You will be a teacher, I said. No, I want to be with children. She said, you will not succeed. And when it really became difficult for me at the university, she said, well, I told you so. She did not even try to support. My parents just nodded. Anya has always been practical, and you are in my dreams. Then I fell in love. For the first time, he was an ordinary guy, but I felt calm with him. I brought him home, introduced him. He said that I have a beautiful family. A month later, I found out that they were texting. She told me it was okay. We were just chatting. He said, yes, I just asked your sister's number to pick out a gift for you. And then I found the correspondence. He was not picking out a gift. Just flirting. She did not apologize. She said, well, he is not my boyfriend. It is your own fault that you are so easily taken away. And again, no one took my side. Mom said you take everything too personally. Dad said nothing, and I just got up and left. Without hysterics. Without screaming. Since then I lived separately. Rented a place. Worked 3 jobs. Was tired. Was angry. But at least I was myself. Without comparison, without other people's ridicule. They didn't call. Only on holidays. Come, we miss you. But I knew, it's not about love, it's about formality. They just didn't want anyone to say the youngest didn't come. And not because they missed me. I tried to forget, tried to forgive, tried to be better. I wrote to her, how you are, she replied. Thank God, it's calm without you. I stopped, completely. Didn't congratulate, didn't show up, didn't invite. I had the feeling that I left a room where water was constantly dripping on my head. Nothing loud, just drip, drip, drip. But for years, and when you go out, suddenly you understand how tense you were all this time. Now I live alone. I don't have a family in the usual sense. I don't go to big parties. I don't put up a Christmas tree with my parents. I don't bake pies with my sister. But I have peace. I have a day without the fear that someone will prick me again. I have no falsehood, and I no longer prove my worth to those who never wanted to see it. I don't need approval at the expense of pain. I just live. Quietly. Sometimes sadly. But freely.